I had these recurring patches of skin on my hand, which when I went and got it tested at different hospitals with skin scrapings, they said it was nothing. And later on, I started developing thickened patches on my fingers. That time, I really didn't bother because, it's not really that much of a problem. But then about 12 to 14 years back, it suddenly flared up. Actually, sorry, even much before that, 18 years ago, I used to have on and off, these skin patches used to come. I had severe jaw itch at one time. And at that time, I was basically worried what is happening and why is this happening. Skin doctor at that time just prescribed a medication of salicylic acid. I remember that was a primary component, and that made the patches go away. But the jaw itch took really longer to do. Then later when it came out in this 12 years back, it exploded on my knuckles basically, because I used to box boxes, and that is when this ugly thing came. When every fold on my finger would dry, then it would crack, and these cracks used to open up and it used to seep a clear fluid, and when the cracks get deeper, it would ooze blood. Then the whole thing would thicken and become a big scab, and then it falls out, and the whole area is left with a crater of raw flesh that you could see, which was red. And the whole thing used to be like super sensitive, because every fold of mine is cut, so any movement would hurt, whether I would bend it inwards or outwards. It always used to pain, burns when it comes into contact with water or food. But the worst thing that I would face is like when you meet people for the first time, and I'm a guy who uses my hands a lot, so people could notice things. There are some people who are like, oh my God, what's wrong with your hand? Or there are some people at my previous company who, when they saw me saw my hand in this state, decided never to touch me again. So you become untouchable for some people. So I would say it becomes I think sad actually in some cases, because it's not something infectious, it's not something that I can contaminate somebody else, but people have just these strong reactions. So this condition is called psoriasis. Well, there was a time where some people were confused, is it eczema, is it psoriasis, but finally it's confirmed that it is psoriasis, the silvery scales that come on the hand. Well, at first I was with English medicine. They started me off with various creams, some with salicylic acid, and then with moisturizing creams that had higher percent of urea. Then we moved on to some other expensive cream whose name I forgot, but that had steroids. It was 1,000 rupee for a small tube. But that, when I put it for a while, it used to lessen the symptom. It'll just go away for a while, and then next time when it flares up, you put it again. That was in English medicine. Then I switched to homeopathy for a while. That didn't really make much difference. Although the homeopathy helped my cold and sinus problems, but did nothing for my skin. Then for the last few years, I've been going to Ayurveda, and specifically cortical Ayurveda with some specialists. And the sad thing with all this is that nobody really tells you what is wrong with your body. They say, you have this, use this medicine, use this cream. Nobody tells you, okay, this is probably why. They just say, we don't know why it comes. We don't know why it happens. Now that you have it, there is no cure for your life. They say there is only control. I recently heard about this clinic called the NAET Healing Center, and I came here, and there was this therapy that they told me that has no drugs, that has no kind of invasion into my body, that they don't have to put anything in. And I was surprised. By that time I was so fed up, I said I'll try anything, because all these years I've tried everything else and it has failed. I said, okay, if I can get results with this, I'll go for it. And when I went there and I did 2 sessions of what is called this bioresonance, I think by the second session itself I had almost 40 to 50% reduction in my physical symptoms. The cuts had closed, the angry red flesh or the pale pink exposed flesh got covered up with skin, and it was such a difference. And I think within 6 sessions itself, it is as you see it now. In fact, all my friends, my colleagues who have been working with me for the last 14 years, they just looked at my hands and they were just saying, wow, what did you do? What happened? And they were shocked to see such a big difference. So I would say that this Bioresonance was the first therapy that brought immediate results. And they didn't give me a long list of things to do, not to do, things to avoid. Like, when I went for my Ayurvedic treatment, it was huge, the amount of things I had to avoid. It used to be a struggle just to know what to eat. But now I think I'm living actually a normal life, and now my symptoms are cut down, and I'm actually happy that it's... Now, if I just put a simple moisturizer, even if I put a little Vaseline or a little simple cream, you won't even notice it at all. Here, before all these 4 knuckles, it used to be raw. You can just see a shadow of a line here. This is okay, a little dry, but it all used to be cracked. It used to be cut here and underneath on the side, and it used to be open. The whole thing has closed, even on the other side. Totally closed. And I have been used, so you can see the scar. I don't know if it's visible on the camera, but you can see a little scar here where it's still a little pale pink as compared to the brown. This is where a lot of the damage was. This whole area used to open up. It used to be quite bad, and now you can see it's all clear. And for the first time, I don't have to hide my hands. You can see from the bigger area, which is slightly more different. This is the last bits, but it is healing very nicely. I would recommend this to everybody, because I know there are a lot of other people there who are suffering, and I've seen them, because when you are so used to hiding your symptoms for so many years, the moment you see somebody, I know what they have. And I would tell them, see, you don't have to. There is something that is much, much better. You don't need all this crap that is there. Just be a normal person.